So first of all, flying experience is always awesome. I really love flying. So it's started with Kuala Lumpur International Airport from Dhaka to Kuala Lumpur because I'm on the way to Australia via Malaysia Airlines, and I really love this train to commute to one airport to the another airport in Malaysia. Working in Kuala Lumpur International Airport is really awesome. It's so colorful, it's so amazing. There are so places you can go for shopping, you can go for anything. Just roaming around, it will take at least 3 to 4 hours. Entering in Sydney gives a really sunny experience. You see the weather is so sunny and the fresh fresh wind, everything was so cool. We're just driving in something like 60 ongoing. Shopping experience, that is fantastic. You can go for a very big shopping with so many brands, but I really love this China market. You can go for a shopping with a very affordable price with a huge collections, and you'll have the opportunity to take anything based on a lot of alternative options. I really love this place. And here it is, something like we're in a very big shopping mall. It is in the Ultimo Sydney, which is at the very central part of the Sydney, little bit of expansive area, and I really love the shopping. And I'm just working something like this, and this is huge. There is cinema halls. I am going for Coles sometimes, and it is the another shopping mall of like Victoria's Place, and this is the Paddy's Market. So they are huge. You see the big fan, and in the Paddy's Market it is something like everything you have, and with a very affordable price, no doubt with that. And almost it's a huge place, something like you can go for sunglasses, Australian cultural products, and they're huge type of things representing Australia. If you have a short tour in Sydney, definitely this place is a must go. Something like you will have so many things, so many gifts for your nearest one, for your colleague, for your friends, but which representing Australia. So this is huge, this is amazing. Even if you can take a walk, it will take at least 2 to 3 hours to complete one after another. So it was a very good experience walking. Yeah, so this is my experience. You can see even I'm just walking live in this video, and you can see what kind of collections are there in this Paddy's Market. So I took this part of video a little longer because I was excited to share something, the live video in front of you, so that you can have the experience what I was feeling at that certain time. And there are so many people, Australians, international travelers, and it was a moment to buy something with a very affordable price. It's Australian and it represents Australia, this Paddy's Market. This is fantastic. I love everything near about everything, like sunglasses, like key rings, like clothing, like every other shoppings, like makeups, like towels, like everything. So you can see the so many things like Australian boomerangs, but whatever it is, like it is boomerangs, it is a belt, it is a keyring, it is a sticker, whatever it is. If you want to collect something like which represents Australia, it is the best place. If you can go for a purse, go for a bag, go for a wall hanger, everything you will find in this place. Some of the experience was something like that. The seller was most of them based on I thought they were Chinese. There are some Vietnamese people, there are even some Australian local people as well, but very rare. But from the customer side, local Australians, British, and all the international travelers were there. And you can see the price. Most of the prices are starting from something like just even $2. Let's have a day tour in Sydney. What was my experience? It was a day I just went for a dinner, and it was very fantastic. Australians, the weather, you see the night view, everything was calm and quiet. Rather than the other places like Melbourne, Brisbane, or any other places, Sydney is a little more crowd. I really liked it because there are so many people, there are so many things happening. The foods, the walking, all the experience was so good. For example, in this place, this is the Ultimo, the Broadway Sydney. This is the Central Quay, and it was about to evening, and there were so many people walking. Just buses are going, cars are going, and if you can go or if you want to pass the roads, it was experience of something like a very happening place. I really like. If you can see my working way, there were so many things, restaurants and others, and a lot of things. It was the video of my next day. I just went for a day tour in Sydney via bus. It was a tourist bus, and it started from where I lived in, like 4 Points by Sheraton. It was in Broadway, Sydney. I told you just earlier, like it is the Central Quay. So this is the first thing we started from the Ultimo. We're going for the Opera House. This is the most attractive places. This is one of the most attractive places in Sydney. Everybody wants to see Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. So we are heading to that place. And if you can see in the Sydney, the roadside, there are huge, numbers of trees and parks are available in Sydney. I really love this because, how can I make you understand? Like, I'm based in Dhaka, so there were no trees, no, wind places. So I was really interested to see this place. I was really interested to show you something like this. There are so many trees, there are so many wind and cool weather. So it was fantastic. And every time I'm just having a pause due to the traffic signal, I can see any park just beside me, which is really, really fantastic, and I really loved it. So here we go. This is probably the area of another part of the Sydney on the way to Opera House. You can see a lot of things there were church, shopping places, living places. Some of the living places are in the main Sydney area, which is based on for the students. I mean, international students who are studying here in Sydney, and it is called something like the studio apartments. And so many offices, so many towers, like 20, 30 floor. So this is fantastic. This is amazing too. Roaming around in Sydney, if you really love the places, something like buildings and constructions and structural things, I really loved it. But every part there are trees, which is very motivating about the weather fact. So every time it is, as I mentioned to you earlier, something like that, Sydney is a place in Australia which is a little bit of crowded rather than the other places. This is why there are a lot of passers-by, and they need to, they need to overpass the roads. So what I was talking about, like, it is a very crowded place. So there are so many people, passers-by who needs to, overpass the road, or they need to go one part to another part of the road. So there are so many traffic signals. So in every 2-3 minutes, you will have a 1 or 2 minutes break, which is a little bit of boring, to be honest, because I'm heading back. I'm heading to a destination like Opera House or whatever it is. So I have a timing, something like that. So if it is a clear shot of something like 10 minutes of drive, so if you're in Sydney CBD, so you need to plan like 20 to 25 minutes. I mean, double timing in Sydney, because you can see that even. So roads are very clear, neat and clean. The city is so fantastic. But if you need to go for a ride, so if you need to budget just for a double time of the general driving time. So which is a little bit of, again, annoying, but it is true. It is happening in Sydney because there are so many people, there are so many crossroads. So you need to maintain the traffic rules and regulations, obviously.
In the heavenly glow, we've come to adore. No matter where we go, I know we're gonna make it. No matter where we go, I know we're not alone. We face it all cause now we know that we can take it. We face it all cause we go big or we go home. Dance like you made it, you found it all.
So here is the Sydney roads. This is very sunny, and I can see so many buildings contain the national flag of Australia, and it's flying, which is very good to see because it seems like I'm in Australia. Wow, fantastic. So whatever else, so after one road after another road, so we are in a little bit of seaside area in Sydney. You can see this place is a little bit of expensive. There are so many houses, which is type of duplex, the complex, which looks like expensive. And I've heard that so many posh type of people, businessmen or leaders, they're staying here, and there are so many shopping zones and some type of necessary shops along with groceries are there, but which looks like a little bit of royal type of thing in this place. So almost we are here. It is something like a very seashore area, but I cannot see the sea, but the wind says something like that it is a sea area. And I just I can show you the places where people belongs to here. The place and the buildings are expensive, the people are expensive here in Sydney. I believe this is one of the best and top expensive places in Sydney to live in, and you have to have a car in this place. There is not that much public transport available in this place, definitely. And I am just going by this place, so this is very fantastic to see, and a lot of cars and sea. So finally you can see the seashore area, and there are so many sea boats here. So fantastic. This is the sea area in Sydney, and it is quite unbelievable. If you are staying in a very modern city in the world, and if you have a seashore on this place, if you have a beach or beaches, sea beaches in one place, this is fantastic. And if it is one of the best tourist destination in the world like Sydney, I am so happy because I'm in Sydney. So this was a very, very fantastic experience. So let's have a tour. Alright, so we are almost near about our destination. We're going for a beach first thing, and I can see the houses, and I have seen some schools are here. So definitely I didn't ask anybody about that school or those houses because it seems like very expensive one. So fantastic. So finally I have come to my place, which is the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge all together. I really loved it. So here you go. This is the most attractive place, one of the best places in Sydney, in all across Australia. Definitely whoever in Australia that wants to come here. And this is the inside of the Opera House. There are so many pictures, photos I have seen that which contains the history of this building, of the starting, or which cultures are connected very straightforward to the establishment of the Opera House. And again, this is the outer part of the Opera House because this is very beautiful, because inside there are some pictures and collections, and everything you are not allowed to go for it, something like to taking a picture or go straight forward into the inside. But in the other side, the outside of the Opera House, this is fantastic, and I'm interested for this outside as well. Why? Because inside, if you want to go for an opera show, this is not happening every day, then this is a different case. You are listening to the opera.
You should know that I won't leave you. I'll stay beside you. I'm never letting
But or any play happening inside, but outside of the opera house, this is fantastic because this is one of the best monuments in the world, established or designed by people like so many years ago. And here you go, see the sky. It is fantastic. I really loved it. The seashore just beside the opera house. The weather is fantastic, and I can sense the water of this seashore is extremely cold. I can feel it even under this 32-34 degrees Celsius of sunny weather. And even the wind, I can tell you that some of my friends, you can see they wear jackets, and I had my hoodie even in this 34 degrees Celsius because of the extreme wind from the seashore. So this is fantastic. I really loved it, and you will really love it. Something like, how does it feel in opera house? So this is fantastic. What a design. And our tour guide, sometimes he explained everything, and I was not able to carry the recording even because it was wind. It was so noise because of the wind. So here you go, we are just leaving the opera house. You can see the bars and restaurants and the harbor bridge. This is fantastic. On through this harbor bridge, you can see, even you can go to the North Sydney, and there is a thing happening. You can ride, it's something like mount hiking. You can hike to the harbor bridge as well. That is also available, but you need to book before you plan for it. Right now we're in a place, we're on the rooftop of a building in the Sydney CBD. It was organized by University of Technology Sydney. Because of my job, I had to attend these. But what I love most about this place is the rooftop. This is very fantastic. Whatever else. So again, we're walking from the opera house area, and this is the walking lane, and this is the park with extended field of green grass. So if you have your child, I wish I could I'll be in this place, something like the wind. So right now the place you see is a very, very cool area. You see the seashore, and you see the place. You see the seashore, and you can see the place. This is something like to the road to the Western Sydney, the Parramatta. I believe you have heard about this place, just beside Sydney. So this is the midpoint of Parramatta, the Western Sydney and the Sydney zone. And because of the wine and because of the beautiful sea corner, our bus had a stop, and we have to come to enjoy this beautiful wine and other stuff. The most amazing thing is, if you can look straight forward to the sea, there is no ending, but after the ending you will find Tasmania and followed by New Zealand. This is fantastic. See the structure of the rock corners of the seashore, which is fantastic. I cannot make you understand how cool this is to enjoy this bluish type of seashore, and it was amazing. Now it's time to take a breathe. This is one of the building inside University of Technology Sydney. It's fantastic because of the weather. I had to make a walk, and it was something like a rainy weather, something like cloudy. So it was fantastic.
No matter where we go, I know we're gonna make it. No matter where we go, I know we're not alone. We face it all, cause now we know that we can take it. We face it all, cause we go.
This is a very high time to explore Bondi Beach. We are here in Bondi Beach right now, which is one of the beautiful and popular beaches in Sydney. And I had a chance to, it was our next move to enjoy the Bondi Beach, and my experience was more than fantastic, because I have seen on the TV something like the people are with the swimming track suits and practicing swimming all together in a group, and they're enjoying Bondi Beach. I've been seeing, it was a common scene I have watched so many times over TV, but rather than television, in front of it live, practically, it was more than amazing. The sand is so fresh and white, and it was something like, if you can, if it is something like on your shoes or on your trouser, you can just shake it and it's gone. So fresh this is. And the most important and amazing experience that I have to tell you about the water is, under this 34 degrees Celsius, what I mentioned at the time of Opera House, this is not, this is more than real. It is just not cool. The water is freezing almost. So I did really enjoy, which is cool and amazing. And it is not a very big and extended beach like the Cox's Bazar in my country, because the Marine Drive is one of the best places I've ever seen all across the world. Whatever places I've visited, that is fantastic, and I will make a video later on about this Marine Drive. But this beach is a little bit of different, which is very beautiful and very fantastic, with very cool weather and best places to go for a swim in Sydney. So after the Bondi Beach tour, we are here to enjoy the Centennial Parks, which is one of the best parks inside Sydney CBD. This is very fantastic. You can see this is wide extended, like thousands of golf clubs here. It just feels something like that. So it is sunny again. It is, I believe, just beside a seashore, not so far from the seashore. So this is why it's so windy, and there are so many trees and green areas, like park and field like the golf course, which is fantastic to go for a walk in the morning, in the evening, anytime. So here our the sun, this is the sunny weather, everything is fantastic. And our tour guide said there is a very big lake with so many beautiful ducks over here. So we'll have a ride break over there, but before that you can see so many people are walking, some people are running. So this is fantastic place to go for a family outing, something like this of place. This is the experience in Sydney Centennial Park. So this is highly recommended to visit. This is extremely very good.
When it's out of your control, you should know that I won't leave you. I'll stay beside you. I'll never let you go. You've been lost and alone in the city.
So here is the lake where actually our plan is to come to enjoy the weather, and this is fantastic. So here there are so many pigeons, there are so many ducks, so we will enjoy. And you can see the fresh air, fresh weather, so many palm trees, different type of trees. So this is a very good place. So let's enjoy, get outside of the car and see some ducks, what's happening here. And roads are very extended. You can go for a very long drive even inside the total park. This could be a very good drive. So everything is fantastic. Here is the place, here is our tour bus, and on that part it is something like the dark area. So very good.
Faces say you need a friend. No matter the distance, I will always be there. No more inhibition. I'll show you.
All right, so after the dark zone, I believe I need to make a walk for you guys. So let's go. This is the place you can walk rather than the car driving zone, and this is the place for some people who needs the wheelchair as well. This is the place, and it is so windy, and lake is very beautiful, and still I can sense, like the seashore, something like this water of the lake is extremely cool. I can see that, even see the swan, see the ducks, and they are swimming, they're getting relaxed. So I wish I could have a very good evening walk in this place with my family. So that Sydney, I'm in here alone traveling to Sydney because it was an official trip. So whatever else, but I really love this wind and this lakeside walk. This is more than fantastic. So it's time to go back from Centennial Park, and my Australia experience, I mean the Sydney experience, comes to an end with this beautiful journey of this park. And I really loved it. And what a park I got inside a city, CBD like Sydney. This is fantastic. Wherever you are in the Sydney CBD, probably it's just a 20 to 30 minutes official drive to get into this park, and this is fantastic. So we are now heading back to the city. We need to go back to the hotel because it's just a day-long trip. So we started from Opera House. We've been to, we have been to Bondi Beach. We've been to Centennial Park. So it was time taking. So now it is a plan to go back to the hotel and through the CBD line, the another part of the road of the CBD. So here we will see the Sydney Cricket Ground, where this is just not like as famous as the Melbourne Cricket Ground, but that is also a beautiful place where so many international games happened, which was historic. So we'll be heading toward to this, but in at the same time, if you can see the park area, which is beautiful, you cannot avoid this. So this is the place of Sydney Cricket Ground. You can see still it is a huge. I don't know how about Melbourne Cricket Ground, but I can see this. There is gate A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. There are a lot of gates, ticket sales. So this is the common place for the cricket, and Australia is a place for the cricket lovers. This is fantastic.
You've been lost and alone in the city of lights, I know. Getting high, feeling low.
And the last part, this is almost the evening, and we are in the the Broadway Sydney, the Ultimo. Here is a park you can see, and exactly what I can see. In this park, we will be walking towards the University of Sydney, one of the historic, one of the oldest and one of the best universities in the world. But if you can walk like this through this walkway, you will experience a very beautiful, place like a garden, and the walkway, which is more than amazing. So you will walk through this and you will have this type of experience, like a lot of good flowers, like flowers in the flower vase just beside the city you can see. So this is the walking zone, and here is a lake. There are buildings, something like the management people of this park and the government offices or something like that. I have heard from the people, and I can see the same things from the park guide map as well. So my ultimate purpose to show this the park to you is how beautiful park, open park you will have in this beautiful Sydney CBD, which is more than amazing. And this is called Victoria Park. If you walk a straight way, you will have this type of amazing experience of walking just beside so many trees and flowers and lakes and bridges. So this was fantastic, and the walkway straight forward will be reaching to the University of Sydney area, which is one of the beautiful zone and open for the people. Some of the buildings you can see. So this is the ultimate purpose we can go. So the fantastic weather, fantastic trees. Australia is always sunny, always windy, and the lovely part I actually loved most about Australia is getting a sunny weather, getting 34 degrees Celsius during the summertime, because it was in November, but still you need a hoodie or a jacket, which is fantastic.
Feeling low and it's out of your control. You should know that I won't leave you. I'll stay beside you. I'm never letting you go. You've been
So we are almost here. The University of Sydney, entrance zone is still there. Are so many, bushes, which is very beautiful, make the place very amazing. And here you go. Welcome to the University of Sydney, the fantastic building. Everybody knows who knows about this university. Something like a Harry Potter building to me, something like University of Oxford. Some people came here to take photos. Some people came here to take videos like me. I was really excited to take vlogs about the entire Sydney journey, but I was excited so much about to take something about University of Sydney. You can check my different videos about University of Sydney tagging here in my channel. I was excited about because I am working for this education industry and this is an emotion to me, honestly. The last thing you can see is a very beautiful night in the Darling Harbour in Sydney, which is one of the popular, the best places all across the world for the nightlife. You can see so many casinos, so many bars and pubs here. People enjoy after dinner during the weekend. So this is something like a little bit it was something like more colorful because they were taking a little bit of Christmas preparation. As I mentioned here, that this video was taking almost on the summer time, the November time, and followed by in December they were getting Christmas. So yeah, that's all about the Australia journey. I believe you have enjoyed a lot, so thank you so much. And this is the video. We are ending up our Australia, the Sydney journey, and followed by we're heading back to Darjeeling, India, one of the best hill areas, the mountain places in the world. Before that, from Sydney, it's a bye, and thank you so much for watching.